All right, what's up, people? We're racking our brains trying to figure out, okay, what are we going to video here today? And instead, let's just get the camera out, walk around, and video whatever crazy nonsense I'm up to. What I've been struggling with here is the Dundon. I pulled the sole rear section off, put the Dundon headers on, put the factory rear section on, and it's been some kind of crazy vibration. And so what I did is I just frickin' pulled the whole thing apart and took everything off and put it back on. This time, really taking care to make sure everything is torqued properly, everything is put in place. I actually put the OE gaskets back in the middle here between the over axle section of the Dundon cat and the rear section. I'm trying to get this, make sure this vacuum thing goes on. The GT4 was good, and I keep messing it up. I should just freaking leave well enough alone. That's the way I do things. So the Tesla stuff is off, if you notice that. The American racing headers are going on Thursday. I did Dyne Audio Core 47s came in, which are freaking amazing. I'm getting closer. I've been really digging into audio. I think that the Blue Sound stuff is really going to do extremely well. I just ordered that last night. Get this thing. I think it's on, but not the way I want it to be on. All right, so I got all my cables out of the way, torqued. Everything here is torqued. Nothing vibrating there. Everything's good there. That's on properly. Problem is, it's so loud. It's hard to like sit back here and have someone diagnose it. All right, let's put the wheels on. So again, I had sole over axle pipes and sole rear section, which is not a good combo. It's super droney. So you choose one or the other. I think the way to go is to do the over axle. So these are the factory headers. So now we have the Dundon street headers with their big 200 CEL cats. So the street headers have an over axle pipe. This combination, right now as it stands, the best combination is sole over axle pipes with factory headers, factory rear section with the valves disconnected, or the valve controller. That's the best sounding option. So I want to get the Dundon done. If the Dundon's even close, I mean, it's making like 30 more horsepower with a Dundon header setup. So I'd rather have the 30 horsepower if it's pretty, close, if it sounds good. But right now it sounded terrible because something was vibrating. And I know, Dundon wouldn't let something like that go. So it's me, it's not the exhaust. So something wasn't set up properly. So I'm hoping this redoing the whole thing is a fix. Sometimes it's good to just start fresh. I triple checked everything because I was just checking what I'd already done. So now I just took it all apart yesterday, put it back together. I'm going to leave all the under tray stuff off. I'm going to go drive around the block and see if this thing works. Everybody start freaking out. I'm a freaking real man. I'm not a baby. I lift it over the carbon ceramics. I need to get some new. I'm taking these on and off too many times. I need to get some new, fresh lug bolts. When I'm done messing with this thing, just freaking leave it alone. I can never leave well enough alone. What did I do recently that I totally messed up? There's something. It was perfect. Forget what it was. Oh yeah, my M3. The thing was great. And I started tearing it apart again. Got the suspension all right now. And we're gonna put the American racing headers on this week. I'm just afraid. I'm afraid that, I'm committed, because once you do that, we gotta drop the subframe and notch it and all kinds of crazy stuff to get the headers to fit. I just hope it sounds like what I think it's gonna sound like. We went down and checked out the E36. Jose's doing the paint for me. Looks great. So I decided we're not painting the whole car, but I decided to do the front clip. So we're gonna do the front clip. That's what I went down to decide, and we're gonna do the trunk as well. Tell you what, this darn pole jack, I need to get some more sophisticated, like foot actuated ones, because I love that thing. I use the pole jack more than anything. I don't know what that's been my whole life. We could probably show them. I'll show them the meter system too that we've been working on. People are wondering about. Yeah, people always, there's always like old wives' tale stories about my daddy told me this and that about carbon ceramics. They're not that complicated. Just don't drop your wheel on it so you don't chip it. If you chip it, you'll probably have to replace it. And you don't want to do that. You can help it. So if you got some baby arms, then if you can only curl like 15-pound dumbbells, then you should probably get yourself some wheel guides here. But I'm a freaking real man, not a baby. Yeah. So worst case scenario, I'm gonna be putting this back on the lift, putting the darn over axle pipes, factory headers back on. I signed up for it though. But yeah, the sole, we know for sure the sole over axle pipes are great. Question is, does this Dundon setup makes more horsepower? Is this a better option? Now I know they're working on a rear muffler, rear section, which would be a great combo. The big question is, I don't want valve operation on this car. The valves are terrible. The valves are closed 95% of the time. So before I put it all the way down, let's see what it sounds like. Let's blow Kyle's eardrums out here. I'm telling you people, if you can get this in your life will be changed forever. Combination of sonic foam inlays and tool grid, freaking amazing. Just waiting on my lights, which should be here tomorrow, which we should work on next week or so for my garage and home, so we can do a whole tool grid organization series, which I think you're gonna like. 12 millimeter goes there. Wobble, another 13. I'm missing this. I think it's like in the engine bay of a car somewhere. I can't freaking find it. I'm gonna have to order another one. Is that not the coolest thing you've ever seen in your life? I think it is. 19. 22 back here. And just like that, we're nice and clean. The GT4 doesn't have a bunch of grease and stuff all over it, so it's, I don't even have to wipe any tools down. Hold your ears. These seats are so hard to deal with. I think it's still got the same kind of I think it's still got the same kind of rasp thing going on there. Maybe that's just the way it sounds. Well, I'm gonna get it off the lift, take it around the block and see what it's like. I wish I could sell these things to you. They're freaking fantastic. Little Delrin jack thingies. Let me move the M3 with its garbage freaking Acura exhaust. Ugh. Never hated something so much in my life. Sounds terrible. I have a check engine light. I have to clear the codes and it sounds a little different though, I think. I don't got my hopes up. So right now, stock operation. So let's see what it sounds like stock. I think it sounded a little bit different.
Yeah. It's not as like.
We don't have the vibration, I don't think. Am I gonna fit? Yeah, I think it might be fixed. Let's see. See, that's what's so terrible. See how that works? The valve's closed. And they like never freaking open unless you're like on it. And that's why we go press the button. Now they stay open. Make sure that cop isn't still sitting there. The TPMS is so darn sensitive on this thing. See, I hate that sound, that buzzy.
Yeah. Like rasp.
Yeah. It's definitely fixed, but. It's got that real hollow. Uh-oh. Good thing we're buddies with all the cops around here. Like, sorry, bro, we're just doing a little testing. It's a little test run. I'm okay with a little drone, but. Zip it, lady. Whatever I did definitely fixed the mess, the vibration mess that it was before. So now hopefully through several ignition cycles, clearing the codes. See that? You guys can't hear that on camera, but we can in our brains. And that's why everything operates with valves. But this car, it was geared so tall, which I'm fine with, other than the way the valves work. This is the game we have to play, though. It's yeah, I don't love that. But we'll roll with this for a few weeks and see how it goes. It's so hollow. I'm sure it sounds okay, like off, out of the car, flybys, but
I think it's the muffler with those headers.
Yeah, it's just not substantial enough. Yeah. But that's what it's supposed to sound like. That's what it sounds like in all the videos. But I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's got like a.
It's almost sounds like that stock E46 valve.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like that, but with this car.
You blow your eardrums out? Yeah, I don't like it. I like the over axle pipes better. But man, it's hard to give up 30 horsepower. I don't love how that sounds. I do love how it sounds in the GT3. But see, the GT3, has, I haven't put this on yet, but it has the big substantial, big honkin' ugly center muffler, but this big heavy lifetime center muffler that they make is the key to making sure that it doesn't, doesn't make crappy sound. But the 9A1, the whatever the variant of this 4-liter is just a different sounding engine than the GT3. Everybody keeps hitting me up, but one guy wants to buy this, but I want to clean it and take photos of them so he can see. I'm so low it already hit. This is the part, I don't think this side. So this is what was hitting on the threshold. But what ripped the front lip off was this side caught and split the front lips. This thing's pretty, for being a piece of fiberglass and carbon fiber, it hit right here, ripped it up. So I don't even know if he's gonna want this crap. I was selling it for $2,500, but I'm just gonna clean it up. I mean, that's inevitable when you put a body kit. So we learned a lesson on this crap, and that you get to do this, or you try something and it doesn't work, and you realize that you can't always do everything right. I was trying to take a nerd car and make it cool, but that didn't work. So let's mix up some O&R here. So these are the times that I actually use O&R. If I mix up some just to like clean something up like this, where I don't want to get all the pressure washing out. It's a frickin' billion degrees outside. It's super thick. So let's mix this up. We'll just mix up like 2 gallons. So while we're doing that, this is what we were showing on Instagram the other day. So this is a Venturi soap meter, or easy foamer from Osmatic. And so what you do is this can go right in line into a soap just tank. We were playing with different dilutions and stuff like that. And so what I intend to do is use something like this with valves. So if we had a few valves, you could use this if you wanted to, like on your 1322 with a hose or a single boom pole. Because what happens is, what you have to do, you have to swap the nozzle over to one of these Venturi nozzles, right? So one of these, what it basically does is it takes it from a tight, high pressurized spray pattern. And so if you think about it, if you have your gun with your regular tip, or your regular tiny little tip on there, and it's pressurizing the system, right? So then I get high pressure out. But if I take and I open that up and I get low pressure, what happens is then this creates a Venturi effect, siphons up soap, and then creates foaming. And then the way that this fans out the soap, you can adjust it a bit, but the way that this then fans it out, you get thick foam. Problem is, the first trial that we used to get it to work, we sucked like a frickin' half a gallon of GSF at $90 a gallon, siphoned it up pretty quickly. And so we have to play with some dilutions of diluting the soap and then diluting via the Venturi or the knob by how much soap it's pulling in to get us a decent, a relatively accurate representation of, or an accurate quality foam, but not so much foam that you're sucking through gallons and gallons of really expensive soap all the time. But for me, I want something like that. I want a tank of soap, like a 55-gallon tank of diluted soap for when I'm doing, if I'm building a custom wash bay. So I got about 2 gallons there, so we'll do 2 caps. And then we'll use some pluffles, like 3 or 4 pluffles, and we'll get this cleaned up. So this is where I'll use waterless wash on something like this that I don't want to get the whole wash system out. We went through some crazy torrential rain the other day. I just wanted to take some pictures for the guy, and I tell him I'm not taking this freaking sticky crap off, so if you want this, you're on your own, bro. I'm not doing it. It's easy to get off, it just takes time. You have to sit there with some Tarex in your fingernail for hours, it seems, just getting all this off. Or our painter was showing us a wheel that's vented. It's different than your normal eraser wheel. Those eraser wheels, I hate those things. I feel like they create too much heat. What's up, buddy? I tried to do hot boy body kit on my Tesla. Notice it's on the table here now. It's not on the car. It worked, but not for me. Like, it looked too douchey, you know. So let's go show you next door. And you can help us make it super cool. So this is gonna be our tester. So I'd like to do some linear fixtures, would be cool. I'd like to do some, maybe some spot type, spot lighting, like maybe we do like a poster on the wall and stuff like that. So this is where we can start to show people what's what, you know. In order to get, like, this is so shadowy, you know, how do we get decent dispersion?
We only have 2 bulbs in there right now, so
yeah, they must have taken
you don't
it.
have very much light in here.
They like it dark in here, but these guys are coming out. They keep it dark for editing. You know, most of the time they have the lights off. And so when I have Chris, this is going to be the finance office. I'd rather have some decent light, and then I'll show you my office too. It's the same, just like this. But I need better lighting.
So here's the cool thing about, like, if you do something that's linear in here, you could do something that's linear that's right on the surface of the ceiling, and you could do 2 8-foot fixtures in here and put a 0 to 10 volt control on it. You can dip it down to whatever light level you want. You're going to get really high vertical foot candles because the light that comes out of the fixture actually goes almost back. So, you know, if the fixture's on the ceiling like this, the light actually goes back like this, so you're going to get light all the way up the vertical wall, so you won't have some of this cavernous effect that you have here now with the shadowing. This is partially because you don't have any lamps in here either, but like no light's going that way. On these, even if you had an extra bulb in there, no light would be.
So what would we do? We just line the perimeter?
No, you just do 2 of them right in the.
Oh, okay.
Right down the thing, and they'll cover the walls, they'll cover the floor, they'll cover everything. The thing about it is you probably don't want a light in front of them.
Right.
You know, these are backlit, so you don't have to worry about, putting a light behind them and creating a shadow. Because there's actually light coming out of these things, so there's no shadow that you can get off of that.
Right.
So you could probably run them like directly right over head of each person, or the way they're going now, you can do it the same way.
Cool. And we could do the same thing in here, because we're probably going to do some sort of merch display or something like that in here.
Yeah, and I would match whatever you do in here out here. And you probably would only need 1. Now, did you want to do some kind of lighting to light whatever it is you put on the wall here? Like,
yeah, maybe. I've got to figure out what we're going to do in here. But
that's not super critical, because you can do that after.
Okay. So look at how nice and well lit this is.
Well, the black doesn't help you.
So the black is going to stay, just because I don't want to redo it. We're going to end up probably drywall. But it'll be white walls or gray walls.
Do you have a plan of this space or no?
No. I do. I've laid it out, so I've measured it all out.
You do?
And so in here, think cabinet array like I have next door. Car is going to go likely here. We need for we're going to be shooting, video in here. I want this overlit.
Yeah.
You probably, have the ability to go up to 135-foot candles, something super bright, and then we can bring it up or down depending on what we need.
Especially if you're doing camera work.
Yeah, 5,000K. That's what we want.
You want to go 5,000K? Does that work best for the camera?
Yeah, well, yeah, and I like it best in the garage. It gives you that sterile feel.
It does.
Yeah. So
It's
I like.
bright, it's white.
Yeah, I like that. I used to do 6,500. I've moderated back from that a bit. But
Do you want to stay in the same locations you're in for lighting?
no, this is wide open. We'll rerun wires, do whatever we need to do to get it to be.
Daylight coming in up here.
So we're getting new doors, right? Insulated doors. That's why it's hot in here. We're going to bring this. Likely, we're going to bring this wall up to the ceiling and seal this off because we're going to have a dozen humans in there. So think some lighting on the cabinet array, possibly. We're going to have under cabinet lighting, which will be 5,000K, that max light stuff that I have.
Right. And that dims off of forward phase dimming, right? That's just like a regular slide dim.
Correct.
Type thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll have under cabinet lighting, over cabinet lighting, and then just general light this whole place. And then we'll probably put like closets over here. I haven't really figured it out yet, but I've got a tire mounting and balancing system that's huge that that's gonna come here first, and we're gonna figure out where everything goes based on that.
You need to know where that's at too, because you want that lit well too.
Yeah.
Especially if you're doing like custom rooms.
So I'll have that like in a week. And so then I'll be able to give you the plans and we can kind of lay it out and set it up to where, we have, multiple zones and lots of control. And so scissor lift is going here, cabinets across the back likely.
Same lift as you have in your garage?
Correct, only I think we're going to recess it.
Oh, okay.
And then over here, I think we're doing a parking lift. I'll call it auto stacker that has, think of it's like a tray. It's like a tray flat tray you drive up on and then it cantilevers
like
up.
Movie's garage type thing.
Yep. Yeah, and so that's what's going to be here likely. Okay. And then we'll just be parking, cars will be parked. The other thing, we're gonna have pressure washers across this back wall here. We're gonna end up building a wash bay outside of here.
Is it going to be functional or is it going to be for display?
Functional, yeah. They'll all be functioning, but for display as well. I think something like that, I don't know that we need direct light, it'd be more just light this place. Like next door, I just put a zillion lights in there. But this is where all the humans are going. So think of this is going to end up looking like a modern tech company's, where we're going to have a row of desks that runs down here, right? It's where they face each other. And then, this thing is coming out. There's going to be a big cabinet array that comes down here and turns and goes to that beam. So picture this table, this is coming out, but picture a big giant, 4 foot by 9 foot table, and then a big L-shaped array. And so the tables will be like the congregation area when we're designing, laying out plans and stuff like that. And so we want the countertop lit, but there will be monitors on that desk.
Do you have a layout of the floor plan of this?
Yeah. So I'll give that to you as well.
Make sure that I'm putting lights in the right places. That's a cool space.
Yeah, I think this is going to be awesome. So we get all our shipping stays over there, so then that becomes all shipping. And then this becomes all of our media and support, all where we create and then service the back end. And so this right now, we already have 10 or 11 guys that'll be in here, and then we'll be able to add to it. And so I would envision we could have 25 humans in this room, just lined up in desks, and this becomes like a big collaborative work area. Yep. Okay, so I need to make some darn decisions here because I realize when I walk around with the Cree guy, I'm like, I need to decide where I'm putting stuff. Now, what's going to dictate a lot of where things go in here is when we get the mounting balancing thing. So I'm going to get the mounting balancer. We're going to put it on some furniture dollies. And we're going to roll it around and see what makes sense. But I think we have the layout largely set up. It's going to look something like this. And so Kyle's been kind of obsessing over this. And so we have it laid out where the mounting and balancing goes here, but I don't know if that's going to work. So we're going to have to get it in here and see what works. Because if you notice the footprint is giant. It just takes up a lot of space. And I don't think it'll fit over there. I don't really know. All right, so first thing we're doing is we're bringing over all the MSS stuff. Right, so all the MSS cabinets are coming over here. I don't think we need to order anything for now. I think we'll just put it in here, see what it looks like.
It's going to take up a lot of space, so we'll like move it around. It's probably guaranteed it's going to move like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Figure out.
I was telling the other guys when we were talking about it that I think that it would be best, because now that we've moved it once without fully taking it apart, it would be probably a pretty good idea to go ahead and just take it apart.
Yeah.
And then one piece at a time. That way I can properly level it and get everything back together, because we struggled so bad with the top before.
Yeah.
Or the tops, lining them up.
I think I'd like to order a wooden top, but again, we're going to work with what we got and then improve as time goes on.
We can get it here and then figure it out.
Yeah. So, but we have to think about this functionally. I kind of want to do that where I still have a functioning garage.
Oh yeah, if we move the door. The door that's in here is not where it is, obviously, right now. So I don't know how well we'd be able to move that door, because with that door right where it is, like, you can't do anything with this corner. You can't put your tire mounting stuff.
Well, I mean, you could put it would just have to come to like here, right?
Yeah.
So you'd have to, which may work. We're gonna know. We're gonna know as soon as it's here, and you have that physical structure.
It's like, oh, this is where it needs to go.
I think so. Like, is it gonna go? Does it work here? You know, do we put it over here? I don't know. You know, does it work here or not?
Right in the car. Really see like how big is it actually. If you're going to want to pull cars in here, it's going to stick out. The thing's probably going to stick out like this far.
I know.
At least the changer.
Yeah, that's the problem, and that's why do I have to give up my dream of a car stacker over here, and do I put it? Does it go over here best? I mean, that may be the case. I'd rather have that than a car stacker. You know, I'll store some cars up at 42 if I had to, but I don't really intend on having many more cars than I have. At least
You have to. So say you do away with the car stacker and put it all over there. You can still get 5 cars.
Yeah. So the walls, the Cree guide makes a lot of sense. I think we probably want to bring the drywall all the way up.
Yeah.
That black on the wall is going to cause lots of light issues.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Funny. He's like, a black ceiling, it's terrible for light. From a scientific perspective.
Because it can't bounce.
I guess, yeah. So the fixtures we're going to do, so he's going to lay these all out, and I'm asking him, we're going to do fixtures that aren't like round, normal high bay fixtures. So we're going to do stuff in here that is hybrid, that can be used in a garage and, a regular garage and a commercial garage like this. So I think I need to get drywall. So I need to get somebody to come and frame this up, and probably just drywall right over top of the, so I think about it, I need drywall, I need
I'm going to make notes.
electrician,
So don't save that.
because I hate this.
A little plywood thing and things sticking off of it.
So would you just
But do I hate it enough to spend thousands of dollars to get it fixed? I mean, if we're doing drywall, we're going to have to do something with it anyway, unless you just drywall around that box. But I don't think it's that complicated for Perry to come and redo that. And I think we've got pretty ample power everywhere except for where we need it, which is back here.
You need to build studs around, fake studs, basically, around all this stuff.
Well, that's the question: is do I do like I did last in the other place? See, because the cabinets, that we can just put the cabinet array in front of this, and I don't think it really matters. Is that the only wall that has it?
I think so.
I could probably freaking take it off.
Whole thing. That's what would happen. But yeah, like you would just run it all the way up, because you have to close that off no matter what. It's gonna
Right. Well, I'm just going to drywall over top of this. But I mean, the problem is once I do that, and then getting future electrical. That's why I need to.
now.
I know.
You need to plan it now, because you're not gonna be able to do it in the past. You have to run conduit on the wall. Which you can make look nice, but like I don't know if that's what you want.
Let me answer this right now. Let me call Diane and ask her about cutting the floor. Anyway, I'll follow up with her.
Did you want to cut the floor to run like to like a lift or something or whatever?
I want to cut the floor to put the lift in. Yeah, recess.
And then run power.
I mean, Mike's gonna be here in like a couple weeks. We'll just freaking do it.
Yeah.
He's like, it'll take a day, 2 days.
Do you know how thick this?
No.
4 inch, 6 inch.
I would assume it's probably 4, maybe 5. So, yeah, but yeah, I guess before I move in here, before I put the flooring down, I want to cut the floor and put the drywall in.
Yeah. You gotta like schedule that like today.
I know, and I don't really have anyone to do that, and that's the problem. Right.
It's like,
I just think that that I'm not moving in here anytime darn soon. And we need air conditioning, so we need air conditioning first. That's the key.
yeah. Kayla's is still working on that too, so like there's
Yeah,
like a plan.
I'm gonna call. I gotta call Jesse to do that. So I need drywall. We already have an electrician. Perry will do whatever we need to do, so he's good. So I guess I'll get Perry out here first. I need to tell him where I need outlets. And then I'll call Katie and see if she can do the drywall here.
A lot of drywall.
Yeah.
You're extending that wall.
I'm gonna have to spend so much money on this. It's gonna cost so much money to drywall this darn thing. Let me ask her. All right, so I gotta call Kalos. We gotta get garage doors.
You gotta call Perry.
I'm gonna
Kalos, garage doors.
I'll call tomorrow.
The 2 places that I've contacted.
Because the air conditioner doesn't do us any good with these doors. We're just blowing money out the door. I mean, if I just put, for the cabinet array, cabinet array is what, 8 feet high, right? Roughly 6, 7.5 feet high. So I wonder if the cabinet array is just, it's just sitting up against this.
Yeah, well, I mean, how far are you going? Because you got this guy right here. What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna leave that there. I'm gonna go from there, cabinets, all the way here, whatever that works out to be, and then probably somewhere to here. I'm gonna take the closets off the cabinets, and I'll probably put closets here, I'm thinking. I'm thinking do closet, like 3 or 4 closets here. This will be where we keep all my parts and all that stuff. Because then I'm probably gonna wanna put, we're probably going to want a couple of closets here as well, because for all our washing.
Yeah.
Shoot, why can't I figure this out? It's like too not square. It's hurting my brain. Okay, drywall, cut the floor. Mike and I will cut the floor. We already have the flooring, already did the lighting, so I sent Chris the schematics for the building for the lighting. I have Perry for electrical, so really what I need is I need to get a drywall person in here. Someone to frame out the walls and do the drywall.
And then while all that's happening, hopefully, like.
So we're not going to be able to do anything in here until that's done, which means months. But at least I can cut the floor, we can set up the mounting and balancing. And get the doors in, get the AC going, so we can just resign the fact that this room isn't getting done for months. He's just now taking his jacket off.
I've been trying to put it off as long as
I'm sweating as soon as I walked in here. I'm dying. Having to stand like this. Yes, that'd be awesome. 322 Oak Street, or 326 Oak Street, or something like that. What used to be the Yarn Building. Okay, yeah, we're on 25. All right, text you the address right now. That's it. Sweet, Perry's coming right now.
Perfect.
And solve all of our problems. I like everything right now. All right, so in here, so we're doing cabinets, right? We're doing MSS plus cabinets.
Yeah, I think going back to that original idea is like perfect.
Okay. And then what are we doing under that big table? We're gonna just have them make us a big countertop?
Yeah,
big
so
wooden countertop.
this is I put bridges here, those don't exist, but 2 1540s and then like an extended countertop.
And we can find some kind of
with
beam.
like some legs going down or something like that.
Okay.
That way, more than 2 people could stand around. Basically, it'd end up being about like this, and then maybe like
Yeah.
so it'd basically be like a big square. So consultations, media, tech powwows.
And we're going to do 38-inch dells. Because I'm just concerned about, I mean, you guys are like freaking sitting at a desk for 10 hours a day.
Right.
I mean, you're moving around, but.
So I think if we did the uplift, then we could still stick with like the autonomous chairs or something like that. I think those are pretty good.
I wonder if I wonder if it'll feel like a little bit of a dungeon there when you got these two, 42-inch walls next to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when the desk is down in seating position, you got these walls on the side of you. I don't know, if you were sitting on a desk that was proper, it might actually be more ergonomic than sitting down. Where we had chairs that had the footrest thingy. So you had countertop height desks, chairs.
Countertop height, and you're sitting at that with your chair. And then if you want to stand, you
just move your chair out of the way.
Raise it about like that much, 3 or 4 inches. But it's better than having your arms like way down too low.
The other option is we could do all MSS Plus and do a desk converter, do a little converter top on. I don't really love those.
Nah, that's not going to be good to make up for it.
And what we could do with the desks is like put a freaking Tapcon through it so it stays. Because the one over there, mine always shifts around.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea.
So you don't get it locked up and everybody's desk could get freaking all jacked up in there.
They have a...
Like a floor clamp?
So they have like legitimate like workspace stuff, like the benching and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they have stuff, so they have...
Like center columns and privacy panels. And
center columns that have like all of your power and Ethernet and everything built in. And then they have, I don't think it would be tall enough, but it would be almost tall enough. But they have a support post thing that'll go up so that you can run all of your wiring and everything down to the desks.
Yeah. Oh shoot, we can call them. Here, I'm going to fill it out right now.
Yeah, the privacy stuff.
But the thing, at this point though, do we even need to call them because we already have our design. We already know what we want. You guys, and then just these guys along the wall.
So how many desks do we have? Black ones? We have 1, 2. So if we ordered one more, we could set up that array with our silver and black, and then these we can do black and black, or black or something, right?
Right.
And then we can talk to Perry about running our umbilical cord down to that spot.
So
what are you doing here?
So we're doing 6 desks, and there's going to be a power rail. Goes up 12 feet.
Okay.
The ceiling is 15.5 at the peak. So could we just run an umbilical cord into that?
We just run the MC cable down it, that's all.
Got it.
And you're gonna run Cat 5 down there too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you got 6
Cat
stations.
5 power, 6 stations here,
Okay,
4 stations here.
okay,
We're gonna have 3 stations, but this is gonna be like my cabinets. My garage cabinet's gonna run all the way across here.
okay.
We're gonna have to do drywall up. We're gonna have to close this off. That's where I need a drywall guy.
Okay,
So I'm gonna have to frame that out and move it up.
okay.
All this is getting lighting. I'm getting my lighting diagram done.
Okay,
So
good.
you're gonna have a lighting diagram.
What kind of lighting are you getting?
Cree, all
Okay.
Cree.
All right.
And then we're gonna have 3 desks across here, 3 across the back, 2 in the middle.
Okay.
Wait, Kyle, what are we doing here? 3?
So the plan.
3 and 2?
It will eventually include removing this wall. So having the 2 in the middle necessitates.
Got it. So those would be later, future.
Yeah. So we could just do the 3 for now, or
So
somebody.
you're gonna have a little electric in that wall we gotta deal with.
Yeah.
It's gonna come that way. What about on the back side? Anything on the back side?
So we're gonna home run all the Cat 6 up here, because we're gonna put our network server
Okay.
up top there. That's where our air handler is going to go. We just have to go a ladder up above that. I think it's a...
Right on the ledge of this is where you're putting it?
Is that open? Oh shoot, I meant over here. Sorry, above the bathrooms.
All right.
I didn't realize that was a ceiling there. So we're going to need to do all kinds of wiring in here to get this place set up.
All right, you just say when.
Now, that's the easy part. The hard part is here. So we need power for garage doors, because we're going to do powered insulated doors.
Okay,
Lighting,
okay.
lift, air compressor, pressure washers. So pressure washers here, 220 for the, we're going to do a 10 horse air compressor, probably 50 amp, I would guess we'd need there.
Okay.
The car lift is going here, so single, 15 amp, 220, dedicated for that.
Okay.
I guess we need to get rolling on electrical, so you can pencil this into your schedule and start getting this set up. I don't know what the lighting's going to look like just yet, but we'll have a schematic here soon.
Okay.
And so I need to get all electrical done before I start putting walls up, I think.
Are you going to go with linear lights, or are you going to go with, same way, decree linears?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
And we're going to need to run some Cat 6 and stuff in here too, over to this side.
Okay. All right. Power poles, what are you doing on those?
So the power poles look like this. The maximum height they make is 12 feet. And so the nice thing about this pole is it all integrates with all of our stuff.
Oh, okay. All right.
And so it'll bolt to the concrete, and then we'll run like this, and the maximum height they do is 12.
Okay.
So we're gonna have 2 of those, one for this grouping of desks and one for the other grouping of desks. All right, so let's roll on that uplift stuff.
Okay.
We have how much are those desks? They're like frickin' $1,200, $1,800 a piece. We might as well use them.
Yeah.
The black ones.
I think it would be cool eventually, once we kind of have everything set up, eventually go with like blue tree tops or something like that down the road.
Yeah.
We don't have to do that like right now. We don't have to do anything right now. Like we have everything we need basically, other than like a couple desks,
monitors,
but,
couple desks, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd like to get set up, so let's figure if we do 6 and 4.
It's 10,
I mean,
13, plus the island if somebody needed to sit here. So that's 13
6,
people.
4, so that's 10. The 3 back there.
Once the wall's out, 5 plus 6 with
But if we do the 3, but if we do the 3 now,
yeah.
and we do the
4.
editing
You
now,
could do 4 because hold on here.
start closing some stuff. You got 19 programs open down there. You got UA open for some reason. Problem is we already have a bunch of 38. I mean, we already have 6 38s or whatever we got.
Mine's like dying.
Nurse it back to health price. Come on.
Dying. It has like cancer.
I'm dying. My wallet is dying right now as we're.
It has terminal cancer. It's bad.
I'm gonna have to sell the E36 and Walt was gonna lose his mind.
But then they sell
Okay, so we're gonna order the bridge thingies or the pipe thingy.
Pipe thing and then the data rails.
Right.
we're
So,
gonna need
so we need them in silver.
5.
So we need a silver setup.
Silver, 2 white, plus 4. I
So we need
check with,
we need 1 white pole, 1 silver pole.
or do you want to do the same color pole?
Maybe what we should do, maybe we should get this set up and have all the media guys and everybody out here, and then we can tear out that wall and start to get that room set up while everybody's in here.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see how good, if Perry's gonna recommend a drywall person, then it might be good. All right, you got an inside look into the chaos that goes on every day as we try to figure things out. Mr. Perry's gonna save our lives. Just gotta contact the drywall lady, and we're gonna figure out how to make this thing work. We're gonna order a desk and stuff like that. So anyway, we'll keep you posted. Thanks for watching.